Much. And Prime Minister Meles, we recognize that so many people have associated a mental image of hunger with Ethiopia, and at the same time, because of actions in the public sector and maintaining strong public investments in agriculture, you were able to protect millions of Ethiopians during the recent drought from needing food aid and food assistance. Could you speak to, even as we're launching a new alliance to engage the private sector, could you speak to some of the comments you've shared with us privately about how important it is that we live up to our commitments to invest in public investment in public institutions?
Ultimately, agricultural transformation in Africa is going to be a partnership between the smallholder farmer and the private sector. But the most important actor here is the smallholder farmer. That's 70% of the population.
Security.
70% of the population in Africa.
Excuse me, sir, we're in.
Where's the staff?
Can we have security help, please? Okay, thank you. We've heard from you, and we appreciate that.
70% of the population in Africa is smallholder farmers. So without transforming their livelihoods, there is no future for agriculture in Africa. So at this stage, the role of the private sector can only be to supplement the small-scale farmer. There is the issue of rural roads, water supply systems, irrigation infrastructure. All of these require public investment. Without public investment, even the private sector cannot do what it is supposed to do. So we need private sector investment, yes, and we need more of it. But we also need public investment. We in Africa are doing all we can. As I said, most of our countries are moving towards 10% of their budget invested in agriculture. But we need partnerships. This morning, the President was talking about the Lakila initiative with $22 billion of money promised. We want the money promised to be delivered, as the President was saying. And we need that for public investment in infrastructure. We also need the developed countries to do something about trade, because when you subsidize your farmers, our farmers who cannot be subsidized by our poor governments cannot compete. In the European Union, for example, every cow earns about $2 per day. Now, that's more than the average African farmer gets. And so if the subsidies were to be dealt with, we would have a better chance of trading our way out of poverty.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and I think that